What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Figures of Sport podcast. Welcome to episode 84 of the Figures of Sport podcast, guys. We've got an absolute banger for you guys. George is back on the podcast this week, so we are super excited to get him back because we've got so much to talk about. You know that he's going to be very excited about some of this past week's NFL action, including the Chicago Bears. So we will highlight that in just a bit. But first and foremost, guys, like I said, welcome back to the Figures of Sport podcast. You guys know the drill. If you guys haven't already, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you share this video with a few of your friends, family members, and coworkers, because we are so close to hitting that 100 subscriber mark. It means a lot to us. I know, like I've said before, it is not the biggest milestone in the world, but for us, it means so much because of the fact that we are such a small channel and we are trying to create content for you guys. So hitting that 100 subscriber mark means the absolute world to us. So please do us the favor and hit that subscribe button and share this video with as many people as you can, so that way we can hit that 100 subscriber mark. And who knows, I think I mentioned it before, but if we hit that subscriber mark before the NFL season comes to a close, maybe George and I can come up with some type of giveaway to say a huge thank you all to all of the people that support us the absolute most. But without further ado, welcome to the Figures of Sport podcast, guys. Episode 84. We're going to jump straight in, and the first thing that we are going to talk about is the NBA, because we've got a lot to talk about. First things first, the Oklahoma City Thunder are on historic pace right now. The Thunder have started the season 20-1, currently on a 12-game winning streak. They are on pace to challenge the 2015-16 Warriors single season win record of 73-9. SGA has been an incredible player for them. Obviously, we know he's the reigning MVP, but the kid has done so much already this season. I mean, not even playing in the fourth quarter in so many games. They've just recently gotten Jalen Williams back, so that team is set. And they're going to be really good for a long time, guys. They have the Utah Jazz and the LA Clippers first round picks this year, both of which can probably be with either a lottery or top 10 picks this season. So expect the Oklahoma City Thunder to just continue to rinse and repeat, create a lot of solid players. If they lose them in free agency, it's fine, because they'll have lottery picks coming right after them. So that is going to be something to continue to keep an eye on, and we're going to monitor that. I do think that this team is good enough on the offensive and defensive end to really threaten that 73-9 team, or at the very minimum match it. The only question is, if they do match it, can they do what the 73-9 Warriors didn't do? And that's win an NBA championship and not collapse a 3-1 lead. We will continue to follow that all year long. But the next thing I want to talk about is that the NBA Cup Quarterfinals are officially set. The group stage of the in-season tournament has concluded, and the following knockout round matchups have been determined for the Eastern and Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference, we got the Toronto Raptors versus the New York Knicks, and then the Orlando Magic versus the Miami Heat. And then in the West, you've got the OKC Thunder versus the Phoenix Suns, surprisingly, and then the Lakers versus the Spurs. And then just a quick update on some notable injuries in the NBA right now. Devin Booker left the game against the Lakers the other night with a groin injury. Jamal Murray sustained an ankle sprain to the Mavericks in that loss to the Mavericks a few days ago. Zion Williamson is set to miss multiple weeks with a right adductor injury, which only adds to his history of missed games. And then Steph Curry has been out with a quad contusion. He should be back maybe sometime this week or early next week, but we haven't received any real updates on that. Some other news that I wanted to highlight: shout out to Danilo Gallinari. Man, that's a name only if you know ball that you'll remember that guy. 16 NBA seasons, 20 professional basketball seasons. He has officially announced his retirement from professional basketball. So shout out to Danilo Gallinari. And then for the month of November and October, because there was not that many games played in the month of October. Jokic from the Western Conference and Cade Cunningham from the Eastern Conference were named Kia Players of the Month. Now, that is going to be the conclusion of our NBA news. I believe that this Friday we are going to see the NBA Cup resume, and that's when we will see the knockout round. But I'm going to confirm that to make sure. No, my apologies. We are going to see that next Tuesday. Sorry, the first matchup is going to be next Tuesday, and that will be between as I said, the Orlando Heat, the Orlando Magic. Sorry. And the Miami Heat, and then New York Knicks and the Raptors on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we will see the Thunder and the Suns matchup, and then the Lakers and Spurs matchup. So keep an eye on that. Next week we will probably highlight that a little bit more in depth because there's only going to be those 4 games to talk about, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on those. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, we're going to jump into football talk, and we are going to bring back the man, G Money himself. George, welcome back to the podcast. My boy, you're back on camera. Hello, sir.
What's going on? What's going on?
All right, George, before we get into anything, I got to ask you, how you feeling, my man?
Feeling great. I'm feeling great on this Tuesday evening.
Why are you feeling great? Why are you feeling great?
Because the Bears are back. The
Bears
Bears are back.
The Bears are back, baby.
Bears might be back. The Bears might be back.
Listen, at 9-3 in December, I think you can say
it's been fun. It's been fun so far. So far, it's been a fun season to watch.
Yeah.
Usually, from my experience, and I'm pretty sure from every Bears fan's experience, for the longest time up until this point, Bears were already eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah.
But not this season. We're not just yet. So it's been fun. It's been fun. We got some more fun games coming up for the Bears, and see what these guys are made of.
Yeah, no, we've got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, it's gonna be very tough over the next few weeks. And first up, we've got the Packers this week, a big week. News just came out that on December 20th, which is a Saturday, the Bears have officially been flexed into the 7 p.m. game against the Packers at home in Soldier Field, primetime. So I'm super excited about that.
Yep.
That is going to be a fun game to watch right before Christmas, man. So I'm very excited about that. Yep. And outside of those 2 crucial matchups, you still got we got the Lions, we've got the Niners, you got the Browns. So the next 5 games are going to be very tough. But you know what? I'm excited.
Hopefully Cam Ward can do us a favor and let Myles Garrett get 4 sacks this week, so that way he doesn't break the record against Caleb.
Yeah, please. But you know what? Shout out to Caleb, because you know what? Comparing his numbers from last season to this year, it's been a huge improvement. And obviously, I'm going to say that's mostly because of the offensive line improvements. But I will also say that he has been a little bit better as far as getting rid of the ball and not taking as many sacks.
So as much as I do want to credit Caleb just a little bit, but I think most of the credit has to go to Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. Ben Johnson has been a great coach this year. He's doing a lot of great things for this team, and him and Ryan Poles really did beef up that interior offensive line. That has just changed everything for the Bears. Caleb is taking less sacks. Our run game is probably the best in the league right now, maybe second best still behind Buffalo. But yeah, no, a lot of credit goes to Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles for what they did this offseason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And to highlight that,
and shout out Dennis Allen too. I know our defense gives up a lot of yards and some touchdowns, but I mean, he's had to deal with injuries all over on that defensive side, from linebackers to secondary people, and he's got these boys. Him and Al Harris got these boys leading the league in takeaways. So he's still being able to produce something for this team defensively with a lot of injuries happening. Starting to get some guys back. We got Johnson and Gordon back this past week against the Eagles. We are hopefully get TJ Edwards back this week. Tremaine should be coming back. Tremaine should be back hopefully by that second Packers game. Maybe Sewell comes back this week too as well. So hopefully we can see within the next couple of weeks a full healthy defense with no injuries and see what this team fully looks like.
And honestly, the guys are getting back healthy at the right time
At
when
the
we
right
need them
time.
the most. So
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yep.
And now, George, that kind of leads us into the first thing that we have to discuss when it comes to the top storylines heading into Week 14. The Bears-Packers matchup determines first place in the NFC North, man. Bears are 9-3, Packers are 8-3-1.
Yeah.
And this is obviously going to be a game in Lambeau. Ben Johnson is 3-0 in Lambeau Field, and Caleb Williams is 1-0 in Lambeau Field. Now, again, this is probably, I would say that this is probably the best overall defense that the Bears have faced or will face this entire season. I would say when it comes top to bottom, they're probably the most overall well-rounded defense.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know the Eagles were really, really good defensively. And I'm not going to toot our horn too much, but they did manhandle the Eagles at the line of scrimmage, right? So
Yeah.
that's going to be something that I think is going to be a key thing to watch heading into Week 14 against the Packers. Can they do that again?
Yeah.
On the road again?
Yeah, something at Green Bay, and I know it's rivalry weekend for us, and I don't want to give praise too much to the Packers, but some is due to them. What they excel at on defensively is getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
Rashawn Gary and Micah Parsons especially has been phenomenal this season so far, and some guys in their secondary. They still got Xavier McKinney back there, lurking ball hawk, and he's been known to stuff the run and get to the quarterback too a couple times this year. And he's not a household name guy, but he's been pretty good this year. Keyshawn Nixon, he's not like one of these guys you would hear normally, like a Surtain or a Singletary or a Sauce Gardner or a McDuffie, but he's been balling this year so far. Just because these guys aren't big name guys with big contracts, doesn't mean they should go under the radar. We still got Quay Walker there, I believe. This defense is definitely one of the bigger tests for Chicago this season so far. I know when they faced Baltimore, the defense was starting to get its groove back, and they started to become during that couple game stretch, they were getting back to being what they really are. But in terms of getting to the quarterback and applying pressure, the Green Bay does it better than just about the other any other team in the league like Houston and Denver.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a tough one, man. I'm just really excited because I feel like every year, especially in the last few years, where as Bears fans you kind of just always like beat Green Bay, beat Green Bay. This is, I feel like, the first year where I genuinely feel like we have a chance.
You have a
go
chance.
into Lambeau.
Yeah, just like you said.
And to win this game. And I think for me, that's like, I don't know, like that's like the biggest improvement, I feel like, as a Bears fans. Like you always, like I said, going into the season, your first thought is, let's just beat Green Bay. And like, because you kind of know after a few weeks into the season, like we're going to be a good team or we're going to be a bad team, right? In the last few years, we've been a bad team.
Yeah.
And I feel like this year at 9-3, especially with some guys coming back healthy, the run game getting going, Ben Johnson actually called out the passing offense. And we've seen throughout this season, going into the bye, prioritizing the run. Came back out of the bye, became one of the best rushing teams. Through week 6, 7, 8, they kind of said, hey, we want to cut down on the penalties. Since then, they've been one of the least penalized teams since he's kind of made those public
in terms
comments.
of false starts, delay of games,
exactly.
self-inflicting penalties,
like the mental mistakes.
The
mental mistakes. So he's corrected those. So now I think going into this game, especially being that it's going to be a big game, the pass rush is going to be there for Green Bay. They've been very effective at stopping the run, right? Yeah. We saw when they faced, for example, like the Eagles a few weeks ago, stopped Saquon Barkley. The Bears might not be able to win the line of scrimmage again this week. Yeah. But if Caleb and Ben Johnson can get things right in the passing game, that can obviously open up the run game to help them to win the line of scrimmage a little bit more.
The offense got to be on point this week because
absolutely.
I keep forgetting the Packers defensive coordinator's name, but he's done a really good job this year. And I know their game plan going into this week is make Caleb Williams win them the game. Make him beat 100%. Us. They're gonna stack the box. They're gonna do whatever they can to stop us from running the ball effectively and efficiently, and they're gonna make Caleb Williams throw the ball. So Caleb Williams, like it's gonna be mostly on him this week to step up, and the whole offense in general. Like Ben Johnson said, like, it's not just the missed throws, like it's
It's the
cues,
timing.
it's the timing for wide
Yep.
receiver route running, and running the route, and you make the cut at a certain yardage, then you're overextending the yardage. They all got to be on point this week.
Yeah.
This is I mean, I know the Eagles game was a big testament to see if they were a true team or not, but you have to put up a fight against Green Bay. You can't, like,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of crazy that the way that we beat Philly as a 7-point underdog, and then going into the week after playing Green Bay, who lost to Philly, we're opening up as a 6.5-point underdog.
Yeah.
I know it's on the road, but we were on the road there too. I thought it would be a little bit of a closer spread. But they got to show that it's not just. I don't want it to be a 28-21 game, and the only reason we got the 21 is because it was a garbage time touchdown.
Exactly.
Like they have to be in this game the whole way through, make a competitive fight. Let's make it a good game.
I agree. Bear down, baby. Bear down. All right. Now the next one, a big matchup in the AFC South this week as well. The Jaguars and Colts face off. And this game also will determine first place in the AFC South. The Jags and the Colts are both 8-4. So that's going to be a big game. I know you've got a take for us later. I know we discussed that, but let me ask you this: how excited are you for this game? Just to kind of see who comes out of this one.
I mean, I'm going to be pretty excited to watch this game. Is it a 12 o'clock game? Hopefully it is a 12 o'clock game. I can stay more tuned. Right, if it's a 3 o'clock game, I won't be focused on it at all because that's when Bears Packers are. But in general, like, this game's in Jacksonville, correct?
It is a 12 o'clock game in Jacksonville, yes.
Yeah. History tends to show us that Indianapolis does not play well in Jacksonville. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like maybe the last 8 times the Colts played in Jacksonville, they've lost all 8 of them. Daniel Jones is playing on like a broken leg. It seems like, I think they're making it seem like Jonathan Taylor has, in every game that Jonathan Taylor doesn't have a touchdown, they've lost.
Sorry to cut you off, but the last time that the Colts won in Jacksonville was in 2014.
Yeah, so it's been 11 years. So 11 games. That's crazy. I think Jaguars' game plan is simple. Like, if Daniel Jones is hurt, really playing on a bad leg, we're gonna stack the box, stop Jonathan Taylor. Exactly like how I predicted the Chiefs were gonna play that game. Jonathan Taylor had 50 rushing yards, no touchdown. Every game that Jonathan Taylor hasn't had a touchdown, they've lost.
Yeah,
I think exactly what Jacksonville was gonna play into it, and Jacksonville's riding a high right now. They just put a beat down on Tennessee. They got Brian Thomas back. I know he wasn't like a big impact in that game. He didn't go crazy or anything, but no, I think Jacksonville's gonna win this game, no doubt.
Okay. All right. Next up, Justin Herbert has a fractured left hand. He's considered day-to-day, had surgery yesterday. They have the Eagles on Monday. So that's just going to be something to watch out for, especially our fantasy football players. That's going to be something to keep an eye on for sure. And possibly, the Chargers may get back Amari and Hampton as well. So that could be a big boost for them. But just something I wanted to highlight so we can keep an eye on that and see. I think it's going to be tough regardless for the Chargers because they've had such an up and down season. But if Herbert's out, it could really, really hamper their playoff hopes if they lose this game and they drop to 7-5. That's for sure. The next one, Amon-Ra St. Brown was a DNP, and his status for Thursday's game is in question now. And then Terrion Arnold was officially ruled out for the rest of the season with shoulder surgery. So that's going to be another one that I just wanted to highlight to keep an eye on as well. We talked a little bit ago, and I think Amon-Ra is going to play, and you kind of had the same thought too. But again, it's just something I wanted to highlight because that is a big game for both teams this upcoming Thursday.
Right.
And then, so just also wanted to highlight this. So 12 teams are at least 4 games over 500, which ties a record at this point in the season. It hasn't happened since 2000. So we have one of the most competitive seasons that we've seen in a really long time. And I think to say that the Bears are one of those teams, it just makes me so excited. But
we're seeing some competitive football. We're seeing some good football this year. And It's
I love
sad
it.
that it's almost over already. It's like
I know, man.
damn, slow down, man.
Yeah.
Really trying to just enjoy
Enjoy it.
while we can.
Yeah.
It's going by too fast, but no, 12 teams. That's almost half the league. That's
Yeah.
almost
It's
half the league
yeah.
is above 500 by
That's at
4
least
games.
four. That's at least 4 games. So that's not even counting the teams that are just above 500 and fighting for a playoff spot too.
Yeah,
So
so we're seeing some good football being played this
yeah,
season. It's exciting, and it just makes like these last 5 weeks, 4 weeks, be that much even better because of how tight these playoff races are. I mean, think about it. The difference between the 1 seed and the 7 seed, the 1 seed in the NFC and the 7 seed in the NFC, both have 9 wins.
yeah,
Like that's crazy.
yeah,
Like one loss to any of these teams drops them out or in. Like it's like
yeah. It's
it's a
crazy.
very tight race so far, which is good. I mean, we wanted
Yeah.
competitive football. We got competitive football.
There's a total of 20 teams that have a 500 or better record this season.
20 teams.
20 teams are at least 500. Very, very competitive season. So love to see it. And then last thing that I wanted to highlight heading into week 14, Jayden Daniels.
Hold on, before we move on to that, can you just think about how many more teams would be above 500 if it wasn't for injuries or like bad moves? Like if the Vikings kept Sam Darnold, or if Jayden Daniels didn't get hurt and they didn't have injuries, or if like
Joe
Malik
Burrow doesn't get
Neighbors,
hurt.
Joe Burrow, Malik Neighbors, and Scatterwood don't get hurt, and they still have the trio with him and Dart. Man.
Miami, if Tyreek doesn't get hurt and they are
Possibly,
able to kind
or
of fix
but
things,
Tua's still on and off about that one. But
for them to only be 2 games under 500, Tyreek maybe makes a difference in those games.
yeah,
So
it's
a lot
crazy.
of injuries that I mean, we could have seen a lot more than 20 teams if some things had shaken out a little bit differently.
Yep.
But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, Jayden Daniels, we talked about it some weeks ago. After he got hurt in that Seahawks game, we were questioning if you thought or we thought if he was going to return this season, and it looks like he is, man. He may return this week or next week. He's already began practicing. I don't think he's been cleared for contact last week when he was practicing, but it does look like he is going to return this season. So kind of questionable, I guess, with their season already over at 3-9. But I guess, hey, I mean, if you want to get your star quarterback some more reps and just to develop a little bit more, then hey, I guess so. Would if he is back though, I guess it will kind of help to kind of at least make the end of the season interesting because they can play spoiler because remember to end the season they play the Eagles twice and they play the Cowboys as well. So if they're able to sneak out some wins, at the end of the season, it could make the playoff picture look very differently.
Yeah, I don't get the decision to bring him back this season. Like, why risk another possible injury on him towards the end of the season that doesn't matter anymore? After you suffered a couple this season, I mean, if you want to play spoiler, like with Marcus Mariota is just fine. Like they almost just if it wasn't for it took a failed 2-point conversion for them to lose that game against Denver in overtime. They don't have to bring their franchise QB back when they're 3-9 and there's 4 or 5 weeks left. Like it doesn't make sense. Just keep him healthy, let him rest, and then just go again next season. I don't understand it if they do bring him back.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say I agree with it myself, but hey, I guess
because I believe in these next 5 weeks they still have 3 divisional opponents. Like they have the Eagles twice, and then they have to play the Cowboys again,
and the Giants.
And the Giants. So that's 4 divisional opponents. Like don't bring them.
Yeah, and on top of that, if he is to return this week, they would be facing the Vikings, which is a team that blitz.
Don't do it
a lot. So
don't do it.
Going to be very interesting to see. And then obviously the following week, even if he doesn't come back this week, he's going to face one of the scariest defensive fronts in the NFL with the Giants, with Brian Burns and all those guys. So going to be interesting to see, but we'll keep an eye on that as well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, George, is you brought it up some weeks ago, right? And I only did it in our head-to-head matchups because I wanted it to be fair, right? So obviously you weren't on the pod last week, and I calculated all the numbers, and going up until this point from every episode that you have joined me with or joined me on, I have the overall prediction record for you and I. So now I am 90 42-1. You are 78, 54-1. Obviously, the one tie we all know is the Packers and the Cowboys game from early in the season. So just wanted to let that be known. Obviously, this is going to be something that we continue going every week that you're on. So next week, we will continue to update you guys on the overall prediction record after we make our predictions this week, and I'll get those calculations.
Yep.
But speaking of predictions, George, we've got week 14 predictions. So we're going to run through these really quickly. And here we go. So Thursday night football, we've got the Cowboys and the Lions. Give me the Cowboys in this matchup.
Yep. Taking the Cowboys too.
All right. Seahawks and Falcons. Give me the Seahawks.
Give me Seattle.
Steelers and Baltimore in a battle for first place in the AFC North. I completely forgot to mention that during top storylines. But give me the Ravens in this one to bounce back.
I'll take the Ravens too.
All right, Titans and Browns. Give me the Browns with Shedeur Sanders.
I'll take the Browns as well.
All right, Colts and Jacksonville. I know you said early in the pod you got Jacksonville. Give me the Colts in this one.
I'll take Jacksonville.
All right, Commanders and Vikings. Give me the Commanders.
Take the Vikings.
All right, Jets and Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'll take the Dolphins.
All right, Saints and Bucks. Give me the Bucks.
The Bucks.
Bills and Bengals. Give me the Bills.
Give me the Bengals.
All right, Broncos and Raiders. Give me the Broncos.
Broncos.
Bears and Packers. Give me the Bears.
I'll take the Bears too, but I just want to give a shout out real quick. I know we want to get through these quick. I can't believe you picked the Eagles last week.
I had to be realistic. When
I don't care what you had to be.
the Bears in the playoffs, you said got to be realistic.
I don't care. This ain't playoffs. This is week-to-week games.
All right.
I can't believe you did that.
Hey, it worked out, right? Okay.
I don't care.
Reverse jinx, baby.
Yeah, man.
Rams and Cardinals. Give me the Rams.
The Rams.
Sunday Night Football, the Texans and the Chiefs. Give me the Texans in this one.
Texans.
All right, and Monday Night Football, Eagles and Chargers. Give me the Eagles in this one, especially if Justin Herbert's out.
Yeah, all right. I can't see the Eagles falling to a 3-game losing streak.
All right. Now, George, we are going to move on, and we're going to talk about the current playoff outlook because this is something that you had introduced, and I thought that this was something that we should definitely continue. But we'll have a new segment after this. But first, we've got to talk about the current playoff picture as we head into week 14. And do you see who those two teams are at the 1 seed? Second-year quarterbacks leading their teams to the top of their conferences. We're going to start on the AFC side.
Speaking of second-year quarterbacks,
did
you know since week 3, the Patriot, Bo Nix, Drake May, and Caleb Williams are like 26-1 since week 3?
I have seen that. That's crazy. That's an insane stat. Very insane stat.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to them boys for balling out.
Yeah, people are saying that the 2024 draft class might be one of the better might be one of the best QB draft classes. You had, Jayden Daniels go to the NFC Championship last year. You had Bo Nix playoffs last year. They're second in the NFC, right behind another second-year quarterback in the Patriots who have the best record in football and who's a second runner-up for who's in the second lead right now for MVP. And you have the Bears, the Calebs, who are 9-3, made a leap from last year, which is insane because of Ben Johnson, and it's only their second year.
Yeah.
So
shout out to them for sure.
Yeah.
Now we'll start with the AFC side. Obviously the Patriots get the bye. So the 2 seed, 7 seed matchup will be the Broncos and the Buffalo Bills. In that one, which would also be a rematch of last year's playoff matchup. But in this one, I would probably take the Denver Broncos here.
I would too.
That defense is just really, really good. And I think they kind of want their revenge from last year.
Yeah, I think I would take Denver too because of the defense. And Bo Nix has been playing pretty good this year. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
He's been playing a lot better these last 2 weeks. But
he's had some moments, but
this defense, it just suffocates the other team. And Buffalo's defense is. I know they did well against Pittsburgh, but I mean this Denver's defense is on another level. They're top 3 in the league.
Yeah, 100%. Now the 3 and 6 matchup between the Jaguars and the Colts, a divisional matchup. Right here, George, I kind of know who you would lean on, especially if this is in Jacksonville. But I'm going to say that here I would probably have to agree with you if we're talking playoffs. I think Jacksonville has more weapons. Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas, even though he's had a rough year, Brenton Strange, Travis Etienne. They have a solid defense as well. I would have to lean with the Jaguars in this one in the playoffs at least.
Yeah, I would take Duval and ride with them too.
All right, 4-5 matchup. You got the Ravens and the Chargers. Lamar has looked really, really bad, man, over the last few weeks, and it's not been a pretty picture. But at home in Baltimore, I would probably have to lean with the Ravens here as well.
I would too. History has shown these last two playoff seasons that we've had the last 2 years. Chargers and Justin Herbert don't play well in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They gave up that huge comeback to Jacksonville, and then last year he threw what was it, like 4 or 5 interceptions in against Houston. And I don't know, man. In Baltimore with that weather over there, it's gonna be cold. I don't know if the Justin Herbert and them would play good
boys from
in
the
that
dome. I
weather.
don't know if they could
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. So I'll take Baltimore in that.
All right. Now on the NFC side, got the 1 seed Bears who would receive the bye. And then the 2-7 matchup is the Rams and Niners, a divisional matchup. Very exciting. In that one, though, I would take the Rams. They split the season series already, but I would still take the Rams here. That defense is really, really good. And that offense is it's hard to beat. So I'm going to have to take the Rams there.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Rams on that too.
All right. And then we also have the 3-6 matchup, which is a rematch from early in this season between the Packers and the Eagles. This one will be in Philly once again. And the Eagles, I would probably say here, man, I would say if they matched up again, I think the Packers can beat them.
I'd say the Eagles. I know the Eagles are in a downfall right now, but in the link and during the playoff run, no, I would have to take the Eagles.
I just think with everything going on with the Eagles, man, it's tough. It's very, very tough. And
it's tough, but I feel like they'll get it together before the playoffs start.
Hopefully. But speaking of the Eagles, you want to know something funny? The last couple of weeks that they've won games though, or they've lost games, AJ Brown's had his stats.
Yeah. Every game those games that AJ Brown does amazing in like these last 2 weeks or whatever it is, like they've lost. So it's like they're getting him the ball, but they're losing. When they weren't giving the ball, they were winning.
Yeah, so. Which by the way, shout out to AJ Brown for almost probably ruining my playoff chances in fantasy football because in multiple leagues, by the way, because of that garbage time yardage. I was facing a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown stack in one league, and they both went for they combined for 60 points. So that was great to see. So thank you guys for that. Other than that, the 4-5 matchup, you've got the Seahawks and the Bucks, which I believe the Bucks took the early season matchup. But this current construction of the Bucks, the way they've been playing, I would definitely be taking the Seahawks here, especially with that defense.
I would too.
Now the Bears and oh, I'm sorry. That's just the first round. Let's go back to the AFC really quickly. The Ravens and the Patriots. I would be taking the Patriots in that one.
I'd be taking the Ravens in that one.
Oh, okay.
I would be taking the Ravens.
All right. And then the Broncos versus the Jaguars. I'd be taking the Broncos in that one.
Broncos as well.
All right. Then in the AFC Championship game, we would have the Broncos versus the Ravens. If we're going with your side. Now, in that one, I would still probably be taking the Broncos just because of that overall suffocating defense there.
I would too. I would take the Broncos in that.
All right. And now if it was the Patriots and Broncos, who would you be taking?
Broncos still.
I think I'm still kind of leaning towards the Broncos myself. Now,
yeah.
Shifting back to the NFC really quickly, that 1-5 matchup between the Bears and the Seahawks, who would you be taking there?
Seattle.
Okay.
Seattle, I feel like, is the only team in the NFL right now that the Bears won't be able to run the ball on.
Yeah.
I feel like Houston has the best defense. Then it's Broncos, Seattle, Packers. I feel like, in my opinion,
okay,
Seattle might be like the one of the 2 or 3 defenses that the Bears won't be able to run the ball on.
I can agree with that. The only thing I would say is if over the next few weeks, if things stay this exact same way, and the Bears are able to finish with the number 1 seed and would end up facing off against the Seahawks in that second round. The only thing that I would say is if Caleb Williams and this passing offense can get going and look a lot better than they have over the last few weeks, then I would be more willing to take the Bears in that matchup because of the fact that then they have a more complete offense.
Yeah.
But for now, I would have to take the Seahawks as well.
Yeah. And
Which
who knows? You
regardless,
know what? Maybe I don't know. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Sam Darnold doesn't play well in big games.
yeah,
He doesn't. Last
yeah,
last year, those 2 games, one to take the 1 seed, and in the playoff game, he shat his pants, and then against the Rams, he also shat his pants, and then he didn't play so well against Minnesota either this week.
yeah.
Like they
So
did enough to win, they shut him out, but he didn't play well. So I
yeah,
don't know. In
so
big games, who knows? But I mean, I'll
it'll be
still rock.
interesting
I'll
to
still
see.
take Seattle for that one
Yeah.
against the Bears
All right.
for
And
now.
then for now. And then the other side, if we were going with your picks and we take the Rams and the Eagles, I would take the Rams in that one.
I'll take the Rams too.
I'll take the Rams in that one. And then going into the NFC Championship game, we would have a divisional matchup once again between the Rams and the Seahawks. We saw what happened the last time the Seahawks played them. It was not pretty, but I do believe that they face off one more time this season, which, if I'm not mistaken, that will take place in week. That'll take place in week 16 in Seattle. So, but for right now, after seeing just kind of going off of the eye test, and like you said, I have the same thoughts about Sam Darnold in big games. Seeing how he did a couple weeks ago in LA, this would be something that I would have to lean with the Rams on in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to lean the Rams on this one, but I just want to point out there, like that last matchup they had, Sam Darnold played terrible, 4 interceptions, but they only lost by 2.
Yeah.
Now, do I think Sam Darnold would put up those numbers again? No, I don't think he's going to throw 4 picks and be that bad again. So it might be a different outcome, but as of right now, I will be leaning the Rams.
Okay, I guess. Hey, well, this could our thoughts could change in a couple weeks when they.
I mean,
when the
Sam Darnold probably played the worst he's ever played in his career, and they only lost by 2 with the chance to still win on a missed 60-yard field goal.
Yeah,
like they still could have won that game, which is like concerning. Like because of like how bad he could play and how close and like how they could still win or be close to winning the game still.
Shout out to that defense for keeping him in it though, for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still leading the Rams a little bit. This next matchup in Week 16 will determine if I think who's the better team. But right now, I still think the Rams are the best team in the NFL.
All right, and then going down to the Super Bowl, we would have the Rams and the Broncos matching up. I would have to probably lean to the Rams because I believe they are the most complete team, offense, defense, and all that.
Yeah,
so I would take the Rams.
I would say the Rams too. I think Stafford wins his second Super Bowl and then retires.
All righty. All right, guys, that is going to conclude our current playoff outlook. Now, George, last week while you were gone, I was thinking, and I was like, what's a new segment that we can talk about where we kind of talk about some teams that we say all the time that we think they're good, but we don't necessarily explain why we think they're that good, right? So I decided to introduce the Power Five, right? So the Power Five is obviously very straightforward. Who we think on this podcast are the best 5 teams in the NFL. If you've watched First Take before, you kind of know Stephen A's list, right? Stephen's A list. So this is
fluid. The list is fluid.
List is fluid. So again, here we're going to take that from him and we're going to say that our list is fluid. It's going to change every week depending on performances that we see, and our thoughts change every week because we like to watch these games and then come up with really good developed thoughts on these teams ourselves. So without further ado, this is the Figures of Sport podcast Power 5 heading into week 14. Number 1, I've got the Patriots, the Rams at 2, the Broncos at 3, the Seahawks at 4, and the Packers at 5. And for everybody who's a Bears fan who might be watching this saying, well, the Bears have the better record. Yes, but the Packers have the better defense, and defense wins championships, right? So, and if we win against the Packers this week, then, hey, guess who's going to be in the top 5 next week? The Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
But it's a big game. Obviously, you guys saw that last week the Eagles were on this list. They're no longer on this list. I think they've been on a slide. they've looked really, really, really rough. So that is why they are no longer on the
Yeah.
top 5. I would put the Chicago Bears right outside this list. But for now, this is our top 5. So,
Yeah.
George, starting with the Patriots, what do you think makes them the best team right now? I mean, they're 11-2, the best record in the NFL. What do you think is key to their success right now?
Yeah, I mean, 10-game win streak. Drake May's playing at an elite level right now. You know, he's literally after this performance on Monday night against the Giants. You could even argue that he took the lead for MVP, the MVP race. I still think it's Stafford. I know he lost, but the Patriots, I mean, they're all around how they're playing with weapons that are subpar, I would say. Now, I don't want to
Yeah,
be rude and say subpar, but like
they're not
they're not elite level guys. Like
they're not
Stephon Diggs is
household
not.
names.
Yeah, like Stephon Diggs is not the same Stephon Diggs from Minnesota and in Buffalo. You know, you got Kayshon Boutte who's playing good this year. Kyle Williams, the rookie, Travion Henderson's really stepping up. I mean, even when they took some hits at their O line, right? Their center's on IR. Will Campbell is on IR, I believe, or I don't know if he's out for the season, but I know he got hurt last week.
Yeah,
And my thought going into Monday night is, all right, let's see how Drake May does under pressure. Like if
yeah,
he's facing pressure, and you know what, like he just balled out. He
yeah,
just balled out. Another like what was it, 120 plus passer rating game for him. Uh, they're just dominant. They're the best team in the AFC right now, and because the reason why I have him at 1, I don't have the Rams at 1 is because of the loss to Carolina.
yeah,
I still think the Rams are the best team in football, but after this week, I have to give the Patriots the edge because I mean, good teams beat the bad teams, right?
yeah,
Good teams beat the bad teams, and are the Panthers good or are they bad? We don't
yeah,
know. Now you could say it was weather inclinations that played a factor in that game or whatnot, whatever you want to say for whether Rams lost, but in reality, Matthew Stafford had 3 turnovers.
yeah.
He broke the record that game on the first touchdown of the game where he had 28 touchdowns before his he had 28 touchdowns after his last turnover, right? His last interception.
And
And then he
then
immediately throws 2. I think they were back-to-back turnover
yeah,
interceptions. One for a pick
and one of
six,
them being a pick
and then
six.
in a crucial game moment to win the game, he fumbles the ball. So they drop one spot from me. Broncos at 3. They're also one of the probably they're the second best team in the AFC. They're also on a 9-game win streak, 10-game win
I believe
streak,
so.
whatever it is, I believe.
Yeah,
10-2. They I think they could have the chance to take the 1 seed over the Patriots this week if they win because the Patriots have the bye. I'm not sure who gets the tiebreaker there for the record wise. But their defense is elite. They have the top 3 defense in the league. They suffocate people. I know that top 3 defense didn't look like it last on Sunday night against Washington, but they still have an elite defense. Bo Nix is playing at a high level. He has moments where it's like Bo Nix is not really doing anything, and this time the defense is carrying him. But over these last couple weeks, Bo Nix has stepped up. Number 4, Seattle. I mean, in a game, like I said, in a game where Sam Darnold could throw 4 interceptions and then only lose by 2, and the defense keep him in the game against the Rams, it says a lot about the team in general. This is not also this is team rankings. This is not just based off the quarterback play, right? This is
exactly.
based on
Yes.
the whole team. So yes, like like Matthew Stafford is the MVP in my eyes, but doesn't mean the Rams are 1 right now. You know, right now it's the Patriots and Seattle's 4. I mean, again, they shut out Minnesota 26-0, I believe. Sam Darnold didn't have to do anything, had 150 passing yards, I believe, got sacked a lot.
TSN
Therefore,
had a
yeah,
non-existent game,
yeah, he had
and they
his worst
still
game
won 27-0.
of the year. But they also held. I mean, I don't want to say it's like a proud thing because that quarterback over there in Minnesota, but they also held Justin Jefferson to 4 receiving yards.
Yeah,
And the Packers at 5 had a dominant win on Thanksgiving against Detroit. Jordan Love looked great. Matt LaFleur finally unleashed Jordan Love, let him like give him the full reins to throw. Josh Jacobs was back. He had a decent game. And they're doing this without their best offensive weapon in Tucker Kraft. So
yeah,
the defense is getting after the quarterbacks at all times. They're applying pressure. Offense is scoring. They're at 5. But yeah, next week we may have a whole new list. We may have
yeah,
same list but different order, or it could be new teams up there. But when I was
yeah,
giving you this list, I did have the Bears ranked at 6th. I did have a huge win for me. I had them at 8 going into last week because of the win in Philly. I moved them up to 6, but I don't think they're top 5 just yet. I know they have the 1 seed in the NFC. I don't think they're there just yet. I want to see them do it against the Packers before I could say they are a real Super Bowl contender. I do think they are a playoff team. I do think they can win a playoff game, hopefully. I do think, depending on who they play. But these guys are my Super Bowl contenders right now.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, right? I mean, in probably all of your takes. I mean, the Patriots, it's hard to deny that at 11-2 that they're a bad team, right? Like you can't say that they're a bad team. And, I know a few weeks ago we kind of had some debate on social media about some of our takes about this Patriots team, but at the end of the day, they're winning regardless of who's on their schedule. And that's kind of the only thing that matters in the NFL. It's winning. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter who, it's winning games, right? Because at the end of the day, you win games and you get into the playoffs and you never know what can happen in the playoffs. So at 11-2, they are the best team because they've had consistently really good performances against teams, regardless of who they play. The Rams at 2, I 100% wholeheartedly agree with you there because I agree with you in the sense that I believe that the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I would argue that they are the best team overall in the NFL. But the loss to the Panthers is a tough loss to have on your record, especially with the performance by Matthew Stafford. If he dominated and they just off of luck, kind of the Panthers win this game, maybe they're still at 1. But that didn't happen. So for me, the Rams dropped to 2 there. Broncos, similar to like you said, this defense is still elite. Top 3 defense in the NFL for sure. And Bo Nix, people could say what they want to say, but again, he's leading them to games. The defense, yes, is there and it's suffocating and it has probably carried them to some wins. But at the end of the day, they're winning games overall, and that's all that matters. That's why they're 3. And I do think that defense can carry them to Super Bowl contention. So because of that, I think it's going to be hard to beat them the rest of the season. So that's why they're at 3. And the Seahawks, I mean, again, agreeing with you here because Sam Darnold played a terrible, terrible game a few weeks ago against the Rams, barely lost by 2 points. Their defense has been absolutely insane the last few weeks, firing on all cylinders. The run game has been solid, finally getting those guys a little bit more involved. Kenneth Walker's been doing a little bit better over the last few weeks. JSN had one of the worst games of the season, probably of his NFL career. I don't think I remember seeing him with a stat line of 23 yards for a while, to be completely honest with you. And they still won that game in dominant fashion. So it's hard to go against them at 4. I just like those 3 other teams better. I mean, and who knows? They can have a dominant performance this week and jump up to 2 or 3 or 1 even. Who knows?
Yeah.
But the Packers at 5, again, going to agree with you 100% here. I have the Bears at 6. That was a huge, huge win in Philly, very dominant win. In fact, I think the Bears could have probably scored more points in that game and made it look a lot worse. But I just think that they wanted to play it conservative, run the clock out in that fourth quarter, secure the win. And that's smart coaching. Why take a big risk and put yourself in a position to lose that game when you're on the road in Philly, played it smart, played it safe. I like that. So I have them at 6. I just think that the Packers, if Jordan Love continues to play the way he did last week in Detroit on Thanksgiving, that is a different type of offense, right?
Yeah.
And of course, obviously, we all know about that defense, one of the best defenses in the league. So that is going to propel them into top 5 status. Again, the Bears are at 6 for me right now. Who knows? The list is fluid. It change next week. So
before we move to this next topic, I want you to know that the college football Week 15 rankings came out just now.
Mm-hmm.
A&M went from 3 to 7, and Texas Tech jumped to 4.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
That's crazy. And then North Texas and JMU both make the list at 24 and 25.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of college football,
who do you got this week? Ohio State or Indiana?
Give me.
I believe it's this
sorry
week.
about that.
I believe it's this week.
Give me Ohio State. I'll take Ohio State. I like Ohio State.
I'll take the Hoosiers.
All right. Now, let me ask you guys real quick as we bring up college football. Is college football something that you guys would like to see on the podcast? I have no problem including that. George is knowledgeable on college football as well. Maybe we would do a separate episode for college football. and just kind of talk about that. So that way we're not giving you guys too much content in one episode and kind of overloading it. Maybe we'll release it on a different day or something like that too. But let us know if that's something that you guys would be interested. We'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Now, George, we're going to move on to the next topic, and you know what time it is. My timer is ready. My timer is set. Brother, it is 2-minute warning time, and I've got some good ones for you this week. Now, I know you've mentioned it already, so I'm sure this one's going to be a super quick one, but your time is going to start now.
Okay.
So let me hit you with the question. Has Drake May taken over as the MVP after Stafford's Week 13 performance? And your time starts now.
No, he has not taken over, but he's made it a lot closer than what it was a week ago. I still think it's Stafford. His touchdown to turnover ratio is insane. I think they're the most complete team. I know they had a bad loss against the Panthers. I still feel like Stafford is leading that race, but Drake May did cut it close to where if Stafford might slip up again and Drake May continues the way he's going, then Drake May will take the lead. But right now I still have it as like if you were to bet on it, Stafford would be at like minus 110 and maybe Drake May is like plus 110, plus 100, before I think it was like minus 150 and plus 160 or something like that, or plus 200 for Drake May. But I do think that's in terms of betting. And he did cut it very close now to where it was before a week ago.
Okay. I mean, I would agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you here. I still like Stafford. I think that touchdown to turnover ratio is ridiculous, and I get it. People are gonna argue with the record. That's one thing. And then
I don't think he's gonna catch up. I don't think there's no chance for May to catch up in touchdowns because it seems like every time they're on the goal line or within 5 yards, they're just throwing touchdowns every time to Devontae Adams. So it's like there's no way for Drake May to catch up in touchdowns at least.
Yeah, and I think also too when you think about it, right? Like it's tough to beat a guy. Like people are gonna bring up the weapons argument. They got Kyron, Puka, Devontae, whatever. But the Rams are the highest throw. They have the highest throwing percentage in the red zone. And matter of fact, in the 10-yard area. But they're converting at such an elite rate. Like he is throwing touchdowns. They are scoring. They are winning. And I think that if you take this quarterback off that team, they're not going to have the same success regardless of the weapons. It's Stafford is an elite quarterback, and I think he's going to win the MVP this year.
I don't even think you can say weapons is an argument. Look at JJ McCarthy. He has Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in football, and he's making him look average.
Yeah, it's a valid point. So it's a very valid point. So I think you throw that out the window. You just look at the overall stats and talent this season. I think it's close. It's very close. But
to think before going into the season, Stafford wasn't going to play well because of all these back issues he was having. Didn't get to training camp before 2 weeks before the season started, it felt like. And then now he's putting up these numbers in an MVP season. Like it's crazy.
Probably one of the, if not the best season of his career, too.
Oh, 100%.
Crazy. So now the next one I got for you, and I'll get your timer ready, is will the Eagles be a first-round exit? Time starts now.
That's going to be tough because if they end up winning their division and they get a home game, no, they won't be. It all depends on how this playoff seeding is going to work because the NFC is so tight. If they still end up winning that division and they overcome the adversity they're coming through right now as a team and don't let Dallas catch up and they get a home game, I do feel like they can win a wild card home game. The next setup, I don't think so in the divisional round. But as of right now, I'm going to say no because they are a lock for a home game, and it all depends on who they're playing. I think they would play the Packers right now. I still think they would beat the Packers at home. I mean, they did beat the Packers at home with all the troubles that they're having. So if they can find a way to overcome these troubles and maintain that division lead and get a home game, I don't think they'll be a first-round exit.
Okay. I'm going to go with the opposite for me. I just think that these struggles it's a lot. And the Packers, I think, they're a team that seems kind of vengeful in that sense.
Right.
And I think that's a team that you go into the playoffs, you kind of never know what you're going to get from that Packers team. And I feel like going into that game, you can expect guys to be really on their A game. And I think that would be a game that if it came down to it, the Packers would be able to sneak one out. I don't think it's going to be a dominant win or anything like that. I think their defense steps it up big time, and they're able to secure a very tight win. But I think they'd be able to do it. Again, that's if that's the first round matchup. It all changes based on who they're going to play. But if that holds, and they would play the Packers, I think they beat them. The Packers would beat them. But I just think that their offensive struggles, man, are rough, and I think possibly the Bears maybe showed teams a way to beat them. Like, and it's tough because you know that their passing game isn't great. Saquon's having a rough year. If they can beat you at the line of scrimmage, then it could be a rough day for the Eagles. So I'm going to say yes for that sense. Now the next one I've got is Jaguars and the Colts are both tied at 8-4 with a huge divisional game this week. But do you think the Jaguars can win the AFC South?
I'm going to say no, because I think Houston wins this division. Okay. Houston has made a great comeback to get back in this race. They're one game behind, right? They split with Jacksonville already, and they already have one game on the Colts. Because of that, I'm going to say Houston. I think their schedule the rest of the way is very favorable for them. They, I believe they play the Chiefs this week, and with the way that their defense is and those edge rushers, Daniel Hunter and Will Anderson, I think they're gonna obliterate this Chiefs O-line that's now out. What's his name? Juwan Taylor. Yeah. Their other tackles hurt. Trey Smith is out. I think they're gonna get to Mahomes like crazy. And then the rest of their schedule is favorable. I think, what else do they have? The Chargers, I believe. The Raiders. I'm not sure.
They play the Chiefs, the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Chargers, and then the Colts.
Yeah, so like I don't see a game that they lose there.
Yeah,
I don't see a game that they lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a solid take, man. I think that defense is top 3 in the NFL. Like, they're ridiculously good. I think they can definitely be a playoff team. But, obviously, if whoever comes out on top this game is going to be two games up, right? I mean, obviously, they'll be the winner of this matchup between the Jaguars and the Colts be 9-4, and then the Texans, obviously, who have to beat the Chiefs, who they struggled with last year. I believe it was on Christmas last year. We saw kind of how that panned out for them. But if they can win this game, man, I think it'll be really close. Unfortunately, they don't play the Jaguars again to kind of see, like, at the end of the season who can do it. But if it is the Colts who win this game this week, and things can kind of determine, who's the division winner at the end of the season in that final matchup, it'd be really interesting. But it's not a take that I hate, I'll tell you that. If I didn't, just for the hell of it, I'm going to say that the Jaguars could win the AFC South, but I do love your take on the Houston Texans, especially with that defense.
Okay.
Now, the next question I got may seem like a silly question to some people, but it's just something that it kind of made me think of with the way this season has gone for the Kansas City Chiefs. It kind of made me think a little bit about Andy Reid's final season with the Philadelphia Eagles. So if the Chiefs miss the playoffs, is it time to get a new voice in Kansas City, or does Andy Reid think of hanging it up? What are your thoughts?
No, I don't think any of that happens. I still think he'll be the head coach there next year. Like, this would be the first time in his career with Mahomes in this 8 or 9 year stretch that they don't make the playoffs. Yeah. So I don't think that this is something to like let Andy Reid go for, or this is not like, this is like Howie Roseman is in the gym over there. Like, Howie Roseman moves different over there in Philly. Like, there's talks about getting rid of Sirianni. That's just how Howie Roseman works. Like, they demand perfection at all times over there. Like, they're 8-4, still leading division, and then they're thinking about firing their head coach after just winning a Super Bowl. I don't think that that's the case over there in Kansas City. The amount of success that him and Mahomes have had together, I still think that he'll be the head coach there next year. Now, if something like this were to happen again to the Chiefs next year, that might be a discussion. But I don't think this is like, I don't think that's even a thought in the GM's mind over there to possibly let Andy Reid go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, it's more so of something it may not necessarily be the GM's decision. It may be like an Andy Reid thing. But even then, I think he's more because of this season, the way it's kind of gone, I think he'd probably lean towards coming back. I just, he's older. That's the only reason why I ask. But okay, we'll move on from that one real quick. Now the next one, Cowboys been really solid over the last few weeks, man. So those trade deadline acquisitions have really made a huge help for them. So can the Cowboys make a real push for the playoffs? I know, division race is tight, but playoff, wild card race is even tighter because they're going up against teams that have 9 wins. So do you think that this is a team that can make a real push for the playoffs and kind of, you know, try their luck?
100%. Like, I know I counted them out earlier, but the way this defense has stepped up over these last couple of weeks, like it's tremendously changed this whole Cowboys team around. Like, Dak is playing at an all-time high right now.
Yeah.
I said in the beginning of the year that the way this defense is moving, Dak is going to have to try to play like Burrow was last year, and put up those Burrow stats. And he's kind of doing it. He's playing some of his best ball right now. And look at some of these games, right? You got Detroit this week, right? That's an easy winnable game. There's no Terrion Arnold, so and especially how I don't think people understand how much of an advantage that is for Dallas. Like, to not have one of their best corners play for Detroit, and then to have a duo like CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, they're going to eat. They're going to feast over there. You don't know if Amon Ra is going to play. Sam Laporta's already out. Their interior offensive line for Detroit, it's like struggling right now. And the fact that Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams are feasting off each other right now, it's gonna be tough for Detroit this game. And Detroit's favored in this game by 3. I don't know if that's the smart. I don't know what Vegas knows, but I think Dallas takes this, and then the rest of their schedule, like, they still have Washington again. They have the Giants again.
Play the Vikings after the Lions. They play the Vikings. They play the Chargers, the Commanders, and the Giants. So
yeah, like, tell me a game that they lose. Tell me a game that they lose there.
It's tough. It's gonna be close.
I definitely think they can win out. I think they can win out.
I mean, if they can beat the Lions this week, which is, like you said, I'd agree 100%. It's a very winnable game for them, especially if Amon Ra doesn't play.
Yeah,
it's a very, very winnable game, favorable game. I think that'll completely shift those lines too if Amon Ra does not play. But I think those last 4 games, they can easily win out and become a double-digit win team, and possibly, if the Eagles slip up anymore, could see the Cowboys maybe possibly sneak in and take that division from them. So we will see. But I would agree 100%. I think the Cowboys have turned it around big time. Dak is playing ridiculously right now. That defense has stepped up incredibly, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun last few weeks of the season, that's for sure. Now, the next one I got for you, George, is who wins the AFC North. Right now, you've got the Steelers and the Ravens both knotted up at 6-6, and obviously a big divisional matchup this week. So who do you think takes the AFC North?
I think it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens still. I think they're going to – I don't see – I know he's been struggling.
Even with Lamar's struggles?
Yeah, I know he's struggling. I don't see it continuing the rest of the season. I think
he just looks hurt, man. He looks hurt.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I think they're going to fix it. I think he's going to fix it. I think John Harbaugh has to realize to give Derrick Henry the damn ball too. There should be no reason why I went against one of the worst rushing defenses in the league and a guy who had just scored a 30-yard touchdown, he only gets 10 touches that game.
Which made no sense to me because in the second quarter, I feel like he didn't touch the ball.
At one point,
Mitchell and Mitchell, the other rookie, I believe.
I can't remember his name. All I know is that there's one stretch in that game where Lamar threw the ball 7 times and they didn't hand the ball off to Henry. 7 straight times he threw the ball without handing the ball off to Henry. Like, you can't do that. Not with Derrick Henry there. Like, give him the ball.
Rasheen Ali is his name. They gave him the ball. They gave him, 4 carries in that game. Gave Keaton Mitchell another 2 that game, and then Derrick Henry a total of 10 carries, which was ridiculous. He had 60 yards and 10 carries, and it feels like everything came in the first half.
Yeah, no, it's going to be Baltimore winning this division. I think the Steelers are done, and I think it's too late for the Bengals. Like, if Joe Flacco managed to win like 1 or 2 games in his stint there, like, we could be talking about the Bengals now because their defense has turned it around a little bit.
Yeah,
it turned it around a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I mean, Joe Flacco took over what it was week 7
Against the
against that
Packers.
against the Steelers, or was it the Packers?
I think it was the Packers game.
Yes, it was the Packers game. They lost that game, but then they beat the Steelers. They lost to the Jets. That was a game that they should have won,
Yeah.
100%. They lost to the Bears in a game that they probably should have won as well because they had a lead late in that game.
Yep.
And then the Steelers game, you get blown out. You kept it close against the Patriots, and you beat the Ravens. But I mean, if we look at that schedule, I mean, if they get 2 more wins, the Steelers game, that Jets game,
Like
you're looking
some
at
of
a
those games are winnable. Like they almost beat the Packers. They
they
should have beaten the
beat the
Jets.
Patriots.
They almost beat us. Like if they just knew how to tackle, you
Yeah,
know,
they almost beat the Patriots.
almost beat the Patriots.
Yeah,
Like if some of those games that were wins, like we could be talking like, yeah, it's the Bengals probably because of what
yeah,
Joe Burrow came back and what he just did against Baltimore. But no, I think
yeah.
I think it's too late for them for Cincinnati, and I think it's going to be Baltimore.
Okay. Now, who wins the NFC West? One of the toughest races, 3 9-win teams in that division. Who wins the NFC West?
I think it's going to be the Rams. I think it's
Okay.
going to be the Rams.
I think so too,
100%.
man. I think so too. It's going to be interesting because in a couple weeks, like I said before, we're going to see the Seahawks and the Rams face each other again, and that's going to be a big
Yeah.
game. So, but I just think, like I've said before, I've harped on it for the last few weeks. The Rams, I just think, are the most complete overall team in football. So, it's going to be tough to kind of go against that now. So, now. The final question I've got for you, George, before we move on to the fantasy football talk stuff, is will the Lions make the playoffs this year?
No, I think the Lions won't. I think they're 7-5.
75.
Yeah, I think they lose this week to Dallas, and the week after that they got to play the Rams. I think that's 3 straight losses coming their way, and I think this is I think they haven't lost back-to-back games in 2 years now. Last 2 years they haven't
Yeah.
lost back-to-back games.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be for the first time in 2 years this Thursday. I think Dallas beats them, and then they got to play the Rams the week after. No, I don't see the Lions making the playoffs here.
It's just so crazy because you think back a couple years ago, 12-5, wins the division, 15-2 last year, wins the division. I mean, and then this year to just kind of potentially not even make the playoffs is crazy. But it does kind of go to show that coaching is very important in the NFL. Look what happens when you lose your best offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator. Things have changed up a lot over in Detroit. So just kind of goes to show that coaching, in some other sports, maybe baseball, I still think managers in baseball are very important as well. But basketball, it sometimes seems like coaching doesn't matter as much. But in the NFL, coaching matters. So that is going to be tough. And it's crazy because I kind of think so too. I mean, it's going to be tough for them, especially if they lose this game against the Cowboys. Like, you got to chase 4 teams, that are going to have better records than you.
Yep.
And you're fighting for the 7th seed at that point. Like,
yep.
Because the Seahawks are going to keep winning, and the Niners are all on a bye. Guys are coming back, getting healthy.
Look, if the Lions if they win this week against Dallas, maybe they still got to play the Rams.
Yeah,
I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like. They got the
play
Bears one more
again.
time.
Yeah,
I think they got the Vikings again. I believe they have the Vikings again.
I'll tell you right now. They have, after this week, they play the Rams, the Steelers, the Vikings, and the Bears.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Tough.
It's gonna be tough. Like, it all starts with this Dallas game. If you lose this Dallas game, I think it's over.
Yeah. It's gonna be an uphill battle for sure. But we move on. Next thing, George, keep it casual. Fantasy football time, man. So it's a stressful time, man. Week 14, bro. Week 14. This is, and you want to know something crazy? I'm in
one of my leagues. This is the last week, and then playoffs start after that.
Yeah, I mean, same here. I mean, on all my leagues, this is the final week, and then playoffs.
Oh, is it? Is it for ours too?
Yeah. So I mean, and you know what? In one league, my season's been done. That's for sure. But the other 3, I am honestly fighting for playoffs this week. Like this is a must win, like win and get in kind of league.
Oh, which one is
And
it?
all of them, all
Oh,
of them,
so,
especially the one with you.
so we play each other in 2 leagues this week.
Yeah.
If I beat you in both leagues, you're out of the playoffs in both.
Well, the one league, my team's been cooked since like week 4.
Which one?
The
Oh,
other
the
league,
okay.
yeah,
Oh
the
yeah, you're
other
done. You're
league,
done, so buddy. Three
yeah,
and ten. Damn.
bad season, bro. I mean, Amon Ra getting hurt, that hurt me. I would have won probably last week. But yeah, man, in our other league, the one that it's you and me,
Wait,
that is
the one with all of our friends in it.
yes.
How many
That's
teams make the playoffs in that one?
a 6.
And you're sitting at 7 right now.
I'm sitting at 7, but if I win, because
So you would
there's
need to win and have the guys
and
in
have a
fifth,
loss.
or the guy in fifth, or the guy in sixth lose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I mean, the guy in 6th is projected to lose. Obviously, it's projections, and then the guy in 5th is, um, it looks like it's going to be a fight.
How
But we'll
crazy
see.
is it that in our league, that's half PPR, by the way.
Yeah,
I am
half
projected.
PPR.
I am projected 140 points with 0 points coming from my kicker because he's on bye this week.
Yeah,
That's crazy. So I don't even have like an extra 8 points or 7 points.
yeah, bro. And I think the even crazier thing is, I I'm fully
And you know my
yeah
stack, my quarterback wide
yeah.
receiver stack is going
Oh
to eat this
yeah
week. You know
yeah.
Stafford and Puka are going to eat this week.
Yeah, for sure. I know that for a fact, and it's
A
just
Chan's going to eat against the Jets.
it sucks, man, because I mean I'm the second highest scoring team in the entire league, right behind you. But I mean, at 5-8, bro, like it's crazy. And guess what? CMC's on a bye this week too. Like,
Yeah, you're
yeah,
cooked, buddy.
so
You're
so
cooked.
I mean
Thank God I don't
it's
got to
gonna
play
be tough,
CMC
man.
this week because CMC with JSN and Pickens and Dak, I might have been cooked this week. GG's,
Yeah,
buddy. We'll
so
see you next year. Thanks for your donation.
yeah, basically, right?
Yep.
But I mean, other than that, I mean, I got another league. I'm currently sitting in 6th. Um, right now I'm in 6th place. I need a win this week. Um, and I'm basically guaranteed in. Um, or I think if the guy in 7th and 8th place lose this week, then actually no, I play the guy in 8th place. So as long as I beat him, I'm projected to beat him by like 30. So if I could beat him, I'm guaranteed in. And then the last league, I'm playing one of our other buddies, and I'm projected to win by a good amount, and we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be tough, man, but I just can't believe it, man. It's getting to that time, and it's a stressful week, brother. It's a stressful week. So
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
I'm stressing, man. I know you're gonna put belt to ass on me this week, that's for sure. So
Mega belt.
yeah, so
It's
but
all right. It's
other
good
than
for you.
that, how are your no, it's not. But how are your
Eh,
fantasy teams doing?
It's looking good. It was 6 leagues. 2 of the leagues, I believe I'm out of the playoffs. Teams will get there. The other 4 leagues, and especially the big league that I co-manage with my cousin, that's a really big buy-in league for 12 people. We are currently tied for second place at 8-5. And we have already clinched the playoffs. So
Okay.
that's good. That's good. And then the other 2 leagues that I'm in with you, believe I clinched the playoffs. I am in second. I am in second place in the league with all of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been in first, but I lost to the guy in first right now.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm 9-4 in that one. And then one with me, you, our boy, and his pops, his friends. I am in fourth place at 8-5. Should definitely still have the playoff spot locked up. Yeah, because the guy in 6 is 6-7. So even if he wins and I lose, I'll still be anywhere within the 3, 4, 5 range. So yeah, looking pretty good.
Here we go. Love to hear it, man. Obviously, it's very different situations for you and me. So fighting for my life while you're big chilling. So,
Big show. Tell about you to take the week off.
hey, man, you know what? Go ahead. If you bench a couple guys, I ain't complaining. I'm just saying. But
Why? It's not
I
gonna help
mean,
you anyways.
who knows? You never know.
Yeah.
Never know. But anyway, we'll move on. So it's week 14, guys. It's tough to kind of find anybody that can help out your fantasy team. But guess what? I dug down deep and I found some guys that I think can maybe, especially with week 14, you got some buys. Who knows, right? So I've got a couple targets for you guys, just two of them, but here are some some waiver wire targets heading into week 14. Just two guys, like I said. One guy I want to highlight, Brenton Strange. If he's out there on waivers, go grab him. He is clearly one of, if not Trevor Lawrence's favorite target in this offense. They have so many weapons, but he still finds a way to get the ball fed to him. So he's a guy that I love, especially he's a big target in the end zone. So I think that's a guy that I really like, especially like I said, this week, for example, we've got Kittle who's on bye. If Strange is out there, it's a guy that I would highly recommend to go pick up. Adonai Mitchell, crazy. Who would have thought a couple weeks ago if I would have said that, y'all would have said I'm crazy. But in this Jets offense, they said that the reason they benched Justin Fields is because they want to go out and see if this young talent that they have, the wide receivers, John Mechie, Adonai Mitchell, those type of players, if they are actually they want to develop them a little bit more. So they brought in Tyrod Taylor to start, get them the ball and kind of evaluate talent. Adonai Mitchell had a great game last week. So if he can continue, he's a guy that I think that can possibly be a solid addition for you off the bench maybe, or if you kind of need a depth spot at wide receiver or a starter for this week or next week, or any injuries happen, something like that, he could be a solid play for you. But yeah, those are my two guys. George, if you got anybody, you want to shout them out?
No, it was perfect. I love those two picks right there.
All right. Now, last fantasy football topic for you guys is the panic levels after week 13, guys. And this is going to be the second to last one. Obviously, next week, as the regular season concludes in fantasy, we'll wrap up the panic levels and the waiver wire targets. Obviously, maybe we'll keep the waiver wire targets. We'll see. But the panic levels will be done, because at that point, if you're still panicking, you're probably not in the playoffs, right? So, but Brian Thomas Jr. is a 9 out of 10. Way too many mouths to feed in this Jaguars offense at this point, and he's just not looked like himself at all this season. There's no true connection with Trevor Lawrence. If you guys remember, last year he was balling out with Mac Jones, not Trevor Lawrence. So I just think right now he is extremely high on this panic level meter for me. Next up, DK Metcalf, also a 9 out of 10. In his last 5 weeks, he's totaled a whopping 144 yards and 0 touchdowns. He has not had a game over 55 receiving yards, which, and I believe it is probably close to like 7 weeks, 8 weeks now. I'll confirm it so I don't sound like a jackass and I'm just saying stuff. But yeah, I mean, DK Metcalf, this offense it definitely seems like this is a tight end first offense. So it just doesn't seem like he's going to continue to thrive. Yeah, he hasn't had a game above 55 receiving yards since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 since in 7 weeks. The last one was week 5 against Cleveland. So that was a tough one for them. Or maybe that was week 6, sorry, because they had the bye in week 5. So yeah, week 6 was the last time he's had a game over 55 receiving yards. He's had 1 touchdown since then, so he is extremely high on my panic level. They just got Adam Thielen though, so who knows? Maybe he'll pop off, right? But we'll see. And lastly, a guy who I did not expect to be on this list for a while was Rico Dowdle. He's a 7 out of 10 though for me. I know it's kind of out of nowhere, but you got to remember, Chuba Hubbard is the guy that they paid. Rico Dowdle's on a 1-year deal, and last week he was kind of complaining about the lack of touches that he got, and then Chuba Hubbard went out this week against the Rams and balled out. 17 carries for 83 yards and a touchdown. He definitely outplayed Rico Dowdle. So for me, I just think that's something to keep an eye on. And I'm a little bit worried if I'm a Rico Dowdle owner in fantasy, because again, when you compare him, 18 carries for 58 compared to 17 for 83. And then obviously Chuba Hubbard doing a little bit more in the pass game. So, and of course, a touchdown helps. So just something to keep an eye on over the next couple of weeks. Going into week 14, they're on the bye, but heading into week 15, which is the start of playoffs, it is going to be very, very tough to decide between the two on who to start. So maybe we'll hear some news about who the starter is heading into week 15, but those are going to be the panic levels after week 13 from me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we are bringing it back. George is here. He created this podcast parlay for y'all this week, and it's a good one. I love it. I love it myself. So I will be tailing it myself this Thursday. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the podcast parlay. Here y'all go. We got a 4-leg parlay for you guys. Dallas Cowboys +3, over 54.5 in the total match points. CeeDee Lamb 60, George Pickens 60. That's something that has consistently hit this season. And as George said earlier, no Terrion Arnold, who's one of their best corners. Could be a day where both of them boys eat real good. So this is the podcast parlay, y'all. Make sure you guys lock it in at your own risk. At your own risk. But
bet responsibly.
Bet responsibly, yes. But this is something that we both really, really like for this Thursday. And I know George and I will be running this, and we hope to be celebrating a podcast parlay dub with you guys next week on episode 85. So that is going to be the podcast parlay for you guys. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call that an episode 84. We had such a good time. This episode had so much stuff to talk about with you guys. So I'm so glad that we got you guys in and out of here in less than an hour and a half. Covered so many things this week. And next week, we're going to have just as much content for you guys. And like I said, the current playoff picture could look different. The Power 5 could look different. So many things can change in 1 week. And that's what we love about the NFL. And that's what keeps us going every single week and creating this content for y'all. Now, you guys know the drill. Before you go, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you share this video with your friends, your family, your coworkers, because it means the world to us. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. We are so close, so close. We could taste it. Again, guys, it means the absolute world to us that you guys join us every single week for these episodes. We can't thank you guys enough. Now, we will catch you same time, same place next week. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Peace.